The Borough Council meeting for Monday, September 15th. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing on the agenda is a special presentation. We have the swearing in of our junior council person. Thomas, you want to come up here?
No, that's not the first. There are actually two things. One is missing from the agenda.
Oh, okay.
So we'll start with the proclamation first. Tom, let's swear. And this is a proclamation to honor the Bucks County Classic, what was just last weekend, and Laura is here. And if you would come forward, and I think you have a team that's going to come forward with you for your thank you. Yes. And I just saw data today that says that there are about 12.5 thousand people who saw the Classic. Yes. Yeah, which is just fabulous. One of the reasons we're saying thank you. Good. But not just that. We have a whole team. Yeah.
You guys made these people very nervous. A lot of like, oh boy.
So we do want to say thank you, and we're doing it through a proclamation. The Bucks County Classic Bike Race has brought the thrill and excitement of world-class cycling to the heart of Doylestown Borough for 21 years, establishing itself as one of the premier cycling events in the United States. This year, the Classic drew an impressive and diverse field of over 500 pro men and women, amateur men and women, masters and youth for Ride the Course athletes. They represented 18 countries and 27 states, bringing international recognition to our community and further highlighting Doylestown as a welcome and vibrant town. The race attracts cycling's finest. This year it included Olympians, national champions, a former tour rider, a winner of Paris-Roubaix, and a Pan American champion, raising the profile of the event and providing inspiration for athletes of all ages. The Classic not only shows the athleticism and determination of elite cyclists, but also strengthens our community spirit by including opportunities for residents, youth, families, and visitors to participate, cheer, and celebrate together in the heart of our borough. Whereas the Bucks County Classic contributes significantly to the vitality of Doylestown, supporting local businesses, drawing visitors to our historic streets, and enhancing our reputation as a town of culture, health, and community pride. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of Doylestown Borough recognize and honor the 21st Annual Bucks County Classic, express our deep appreciation for its organizer Laura Reppert and team, the athletes, volunteers, and sponsors, and affirm how honored we are this world-class race continues to call Doylestown home. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to say thank you to the borough, all the different departments. I mean, this race would not exist without your support. We're really grateful to that. Oh, there's Sharon. And then also we have a little bit of a slice of everybody involved here. So Ron is our videographer. Gary is on the stage. Lucy's our volunteer coordinator. Mike is her right-hand man, I guess you could say. Bogey is one of our all-star volunteers, as well as Sharon and Skip. And Skip always starts the day out by playing the national anthem. Rick holds down turn one all day long and hosts a team at his house every year, forming a relationship with them that they actually stay at his house outside of race day because they've fallen in love with Doylestown. And Sue and Deb are representatives from USA Cycling. They're two of the officials, and they make sure that everything runs on schedule and according to the USA Cycling rules. And my dad is here too, which I'm really grateful to him for all of his help. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. We love the race and we love being able to host it here.
Okay. Me next to you.
Okay.
And you're holding.
Okay.
Why don't we get you guys in the middle?
Okay. Oh yeah, Ron, come up. He'll send us a picture.
Yeah.
Ron, you're a big part of it.
Pay no attention, man. Come over this side. Yeah. There you go.
Good.
Boy.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
And maybe next year we can not have rain.
We'll work on it for you.
Great job. Thank you guys so much. Really terrific.
Thanks, Lord. Great to see you.
Those are great. Nice. Seeing like the racers, like restaurant, like that weekend, you know, or like hearing. It's nice. Yeah.
So next we have the swearing in of our new junior councilperson to be, Thomas O'Reilly. So, and Thomas is here with his parents.
Sure. Yeah, Larry will get a better one probably, but yes.
Speak into the mic, and if you would just hold the Constitution.
Gosh, another tall drink of water. Our last one was a tall one.
So
Lisa.
Thomas, please repeat after me. I, Thomas O'Reilly,
I, Thomas O'Reilly,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
that I accept the position of Doylestown Borough Junior Councilperson.
that I accept the position of Doylestown Borough Junior Councilperson.
I promise to attend monthly council meetings,
Promise to attend monthly council meetings,
observe Borough Council meeting rules,
observe Borough Council meeting rules,
and actively participate in borough business.
and actively participate in borough business.
And I understand
And I understand
that I cannot vote on any issue,
that I cannot vote on any issue,
and I cannot attend executive sessions.
and I cannot attend executive sessions.
Thomas, you are now our junior councilperson. Why don't you-
Pictures first.
I'm going to hold this up even though it's not signed. Yes.
You wanna sign? Okay. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Thomas O'Reilly,
Yeah, I tried.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes from our August 18th council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Mr. Kinney, I think it was. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none, any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Mayor, do you have a report for us tonight?
No, I do not.
Okay. Public safety, Mr. Brown, do you have anything for us?
We did not meet. The fire company report is part of the packet, and the Emergency Preparedness Committee is preparing their first gathering on October 30th, 7 o'clock here, talking about intercommunity communications. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Public Works and Administration, Mr. Kinney.
Yes, Mr. President, and I apologize, my computer's acting up, but the committee did meet, and there is one item for business which for some reason doesn't want to show up on my computer. So there it is. I'm sorry. It's the salt bid. Thank you very much. Bids were opened and publicly read for the purchase of rock salt for the 2025-2026 season on Wednesday, August 13, 2025. Below is a tabulation of the bids received. If council, the low bidder was Morton Salt Incorporated. If council wishes to award the bid to the low bidder, Morton Salt Incorporated, it can do so by making a motion to award the bid at a price of $61.86 delivered and $61 undelivered, conditioned upon receipt of a properly executed performance bond and compliance with the bid specifications. Morton Salt Incorporated held the contract for 2024-2025 at $60.95 delivered and $60 undelivered. And I move to accept this bid on behalf of the Public Works Committee.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Popkin. Any questions or comments from any members of council? None. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Hopefully, we won't get to use a lot of that salt.
Let's hope not.
We have a full bin with the old price, too, so.
Right. The Public Works report is also in the packet, Mr. President, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Kinney. Community and Government Affairs, Mr. Bell, do you have anything for us?
I just have one announcement. Thanks, Mr. President. So the annual Youth Recognition Award Program is open for nominations. Deadlines are November 1st. The eligibility details, which are very important, are on our Facebook page and on the borough website. And I think I can speak for all of us. It's been a great experience to be able to recognize these outstanding young leaders in our borough over the past several years. We've had some really, really rock star kids. So if you know anyone who knows anyone, parents, neighbors, if you see a kid doing something awesome, and these are all people who are not really seeking recognition. In fact, if you know kids that age, you know that they are trying to hide from recognition. But it's a great program, so please do keep it in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Zoning and Planning, Ms. Jarrett.
The Zoning and Planning Committee did meet this week, this month. First, we have an application for land development for 159 to 161 West State Street. Ms. Highland, do you want to offer some clarity, or shall I just read?
You're welcome to just read the
Okay.
motion.
So Worth and Worth LP, the owner of the above referenced property at 159 to 161 West State Street, proposes a lot consolidation of the two parcels located at the northeast corner of the intersection of West State Street and North Franklin Street in the Central Commercial Zoning District. This proposal includes demolition of the 3 existing buildings and construction of a 3-unit retail building, with pedestrian access along State Street, frontage, and vehicle parking along an existing private alley, which is parallel to State Street. This application was reviewed and the Zoning and Planning Committee, by the Zoning and Planning Committee on September 8th, 2025, and the committee recommended approval of the following, with the following conditions: that the applicant resolve all outstanding issues with the Borough Engineer's letter dated from August 15th, 2025, Borough Water Engineer's letter dated August 20th, 2025, Water Department Director's letter dated July 30th, 2025, and the Shade Tree Commission's review dated June 17th, 2025, as well as the Building Inspector's review dated June 9th, 2025, to the satisfaction of staff. 2, that the applicant provide a contribution to the Shade Tree Fund in the amount of $3,600. 3, the project comply with all applicable regulations, including local, state, and federal. And in consideration of the foregoing, the committee recommends the following waivers be granted. 1, 22-404 to allow concurrent, separate, preliminary, and final plan submissions. 2, 22-56.1.6 to allow grading within 5 feet of the property line. 22-517.1 to allow a blanket easement rather than a 20-foot wide easement. 4, 22-520.5C to permit street trees within the right-of-way. 6, 22-805.1A to allow a plan sheet size of 24 by 36 inches. To not provide existing features within 400 feet of the land to be subdivided, to allow storm sewer within the inside diameter of 12 inches, to allow HPDE pipes within areas of vehicular traffic, to only provide RCP pipe in the area of West State Street's right-of-way, and to provide pipe cover in accordance with the manufacturer's specifications, to allow a driveway throat of 22.6 feet, to allow a driveway apron within 26.4 feet, and to allow a 15-foot driveway radius. If council is in agreement with the committee, it may grant approval by carrying a motion to do so, and I so move.
Second. We have a motion and a second by Mr. Lavrone. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none, any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next up, we have the Borough of Doylestown Planning and Zoning Department's Zoning Hearing Board report. It is surrounding 85 East State Street and 30 Garden Alley. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Ms. Highland, or?
The zoning hearing board will be meeting later this week. There's one application on the agenda. It is for 85 East State Street, which also shares the address of 30 Garden Alley. They're proposing an addition to one building, as well as the construction of a new garage. They're requesting dimensional relief to do so.
Thank you, Ms. Highland. And the zoning committee did not take any action on that. Next, we have the HARB recommendations, which are loading very slowly here. Apologies. Everything else loaded very quickly. Sorry, this must be a big file, so it's just taking a second. Thank you. Sorry about that. It's like both of them are. Thank you so much. Ms. Highland to the rescue as usual. So for the Certificate of Appropriateness for HARB recommendations, at its regular monthly meeting, the Borough of Doylestown Historical and Architectural Review Board, HARB, recommended the following. For sign applications, there were 3, one for 31 West State Street. The HARB recommended that the application for a Certificate of Appropriateness be accepted as presented. Number 2, it was 111 to 113 East Court Street for a sign, and that was HARB recommended that the application for a Certificate of Appropriateness be accepted as presented. And 152 North Main Street, HARB recommended also that that application be accepted as presented. For the building applications, there was 338 West Court Street for a roof. The HARB recommended that the application for a Certificate of Appropriateness be accepted as presented with the condition that the color of the roofing material be charcoal. In 56 South Main Street, a renovation. The HARB recommended that a certificate of appropriateness be accepted as presented with gutters to be painted half-round. Next, we had 348 East Court Street for a renovation. The HARB recommended that the application for a certificate of appropriateness be accepted as presented with the following changes. The proposed gable on the face of the carport is to be removed. The trash enclosure should be a different color or material from the house. The half-round gutters should be painted to match what is there. Next, we had 119 West Oakland Avenue for a renovation. The HARB recommended that the application for a certificate of appropriateness be accepted as presented. And finally, 24 North Main Street for an addition and renovation. The HARB recommended that the application be bifurcated and that a certificate of appropriateness be approved for the north and west elevations as presented. The applicant will return with new drawings for the eastern elevation with smaller dormers, modifications to the connector roof, and to discuss roofing materials. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommends that council approve the applications in accordance with HARB's recommendation, and if council is in agreement, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Ms. Popkin, I believe. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And finally, the code enforcement reports and the building inspection reports are both in the packet. We also have a resolution. Do you want to discuss that? Is that?
Oh, that's under Environment and Recreation.
Yeah, sorry, it just says Planning and Zoning Department. It threw me off, I apologize. So that concludes my report.
That's it. Thank you, Ms. Garrett. Environment and Rec, Ms. Wyckoff is not here tonight. I understand Mr. Bell is going to be covering.
Yeah, I'll present on behalf of Ms. Wyckoff. We have one item for council's consideration. This is Resolution 2025-11, a dissenting comment to the EPA's proposed reconsideration of the endangerment finding in vehicle emission standards. And the backstory is that the EPA is proposing to repeal all greenhouse gas emission standards for light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles and engines. And the justification being offered is that the EPA had previously misinterpreted scientific data to create climate change concerns and that the standards are more harmful than helpful. The proposal from the EPA also includes a reinterpretation of the Clean Air Act such that the EPA would no longer be authorized to prescribe emission standards. Resolution 2025-11 opposes the proposal based on the borough's ongoing commitment to combat climate change and the significant role of transportation in contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Public comment on the proposal is being accepted until September 22nd. The Environment and Recreation Committee recommends adoption and submission of Resolution 2025-11. It's a very well-written but rather lengthy resolution, so I won't read it out here, but it was distributed in your packet. And if council is in agreement with the committee, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Kinney. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
Mr. President, I'd just like to speak to this briefly. I've been an environmental lawyer for more than 30 years, and in the course of my career have had the opportunity to seek enforcement of Clean Air Act standards in the state of New Jersey, as well as in other parts of the country. What the EPA is proposing is something that would be significantly harmful to the health and welfare of citizens in this country and of this borough. And there's no scientific justification for it. I've read the rationale for it. The bases that the EPA had previously established for control of greenhouse gas emissions from vehicles has been upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States. And what this would be a serious, the rollback of those standards would be have a serious effect on the economy as well as on the public health and welfare of the citizens in this community. And so I very strongly support this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Kinney. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We will make sure the text is made available to the public through our social.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes Ms. Wykoff's report.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Water utilities, Mr. Laverne, do you have anything for us tonight?
Yes, Mr. President. We did meet this month. I have no action items, but 2 informational items. Our Stellar Water Department was successful in flushing 236 fire hydrants throughout the borough for maintenance, so that's good news. And the other good news is that you all remember the PFAS grant and projects we're embarking on. Work has already started on the old Waterworks building. That's where well number 12 is. Once that building is demolished, then a new building will be put up to house the new PFAS treatment system there. So just 2 items of good news, and that's the end of my report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Laverne. Finance and pension, Ms. Popkin, I think you have a few things for us tonight.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had a very lengthy meeting, and I appreciate everyone on the committee staying so late. I do have quite a bit of items on my agenda. So the first one is the disclosure of 2026 minimum municipal obligation to the pension plan. So Act 205 of 1984 has amended, governs the funding requirements for all municipal pension plans. The law requires that the chief administrative officer of each municipal pension plan is to inform the governing body of the municipality of the plan's expected financial obligation for the coming year. This must be done by the last day of September. This memo is intended to satisfy that legal requirement of Act 205, and we do this each year. The calculation of 2026 plan cost, or the MMO, which stands for minimum municipal obligation, required an estimate of the 2025 W-2 wages of the employees who are covered by the plans. I have indicated on the attached worksheet, which is in your packet, my best estimates of the plan costs. Questions on our non-uniform pension costs can be addressed to either myself or the staff of Girard Pension Services. And we have their phone number, 610-821-1331. They love to talk about the pension plan. Please understand that the MMO is the municipality's 2026 bill for the pension plan. The calculated obligation must be paid by December 31st, 2026. The obligation must be met with general fund monies or the general state aid to municipal pensions, to which we may be entitled to under the Act of 205. And the projected 2026 non-uniform pension obligation is $406,283. Should you have any questions on the MMO, please contact myself or any of the above agencies. And we need an action? No, we don't need an action on this.
Simply are required by law
So-
to announce that each year.
So there you go. We've announced that. Then, any questions on this? No? Okay. The next item is the municipal energy procurement. And in front of everyone, there is a handout that you see. So Doylestown Borough's 3-year agreement with the UGI Energy Service for our municipal energy procurement will expire at the end of February 2026. With this deadline approaching, the borough partnered once again with Mantis Innovation to gather pricing options for our municipal energy needs, with the goals of obtaining the best possible pricing. And the results are attached in your packet. Mantis Innovation is recommending option A, and this is for a 48-month term with Constellation for our energy service needs. The Finance and Pension Committee is further recommending the addition of the 100% green option, which our committee is very proud to. Like Connor was talking to us about going 100% green, and I'm very happy that he recommended this. Although this represents a significant increase in our current costs, it is unfortunately reflective of the current wholesale market. As this pricing changes daily, the actual price that will be locked in after approval tonight will be different from the pricing including in your attached packet. Slightly different. So we will lock in tomorrow morning, and John will sign off on that.
That's correct.
The 48-month term puts us at the best position for favorable renewal. And as of today, so on the sheet that you received, there's a slight difference because, Caroline, this sheet was printed when, yesterday?
The one in your packet is
The one in the packet. September 11th. So the slight difference is for 100% green in the price per kilowatt is 0.088.
0011.
Oh, the difference is, the difference is 0.0011, and the actual price will be 0.08873, but it could be slightly different tomorrow morning. The Finance and Pension Committee reviewed this information at their September 11th meeting, and we are recommending the 48-month 100% green agreement with Constellation. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Mr. O'Hanlon. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
I'd just like to say one thing. I'd like to thank everybody on the committee for taking that into consideration, doing something like this and staying true to our commitment to sustainability and doing it in a fiscally responsible way. So I just want to thank everybody on the committee for that.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I'd like to echo Councilmember O'Hanlon's comments and just point out that the difference between what we had locked into 3 years ago and this year is based on a number of factors, but it's a more than 800% increase in energy costs for the community, which is just, it's hard to wrap your head around that number. Going 100% green is going to nominally increase our costs annually, but I concur with Councilmember O'Hanlon that it's consistent with the values and the direction that this borough has taken, and I think that it's prudent. It's both fiscally prudent, but it's also environmentally prudent for us, so I support it.
And we have solar panels on the whole roof above us, which is fabulous.
Yep. Any other questions or comments?
One comment, I'm actually gratified to hear the sentiment expressed by yourself and by Mr. O'Hanlon, because there will be other matters before council that are in the same vein in terms of sustainability and balancing fiscal responsibility against sustainability. And so this is not a once and done issue. And I look forward to continuing to hear your great support for those kinds of initiatives.
You should be seeing a schedule for the climate action plan. The final approvals were in the home stretch with that. And that'll address, this is in keeping with that, the spirit of that plan, at least, if not the letter. And you'll be seeing some more about that, and there will be actions recommended that follow in this vein.
Any other questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none, any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is the consideration of Central Bucks Regional Police Department's 2026 preliminary budget. Attached, please find the above referenced budget forwarded by the Central Bucks Regional Police Commission and transmitted to the borough to honor the date specified by the terms of the intermunicipality agreement. The budget is still a work in progress, as it is each year this happens. Relying on the multiple assumptions, CBRPD intends to refine the budget over the next months to incorporate the actual health costs, workers' compensation, property and liability insurance premiums, and any possible grant revenues that are expected to be finalized probably in September or October. Also, as neither the police CBA nor the AFSCM, AFSCME CBA have been settled, which is the union negotiations. All wages in the budget are at the 2025 wage scale, and that should be duly noted. The budget was reviewed by the Finance and Pension Committee at their September 11th meeting, and we are recommending that the Borough Council reject the first draft budget, an action that is anticipated by the Police Commission. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Kinney. Any questions or comments from any members of the council?
Just for those who are new to this process, the intermunicipal agreement does set this early deadline, knowing that the budget will never be in a position to be finalized and adopted by you, but it gives all the municipalities a sneak preview of what things are looking like. So it does serve its purpose in that way, but we've never done anything but reject the first draft of the budget. And the commission traditionally and the department have always worked to make significant cuts and improvements to the budget before you see it again. And I know they're hopeful to do it again this time.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. There's a couple more summary items before we get to the finance report. So in addition to the items on the agenda for consideration tonight, we also discussed the preliminary Act 205 valuation. And Foster & Foster was at their actuaries, and they work in conjunction with Gerard. And they were at our committee meeting, and they presented a summary of the actual results, actuarially results for the non-uniform pension plan as of 1/1/25. And then they compared this with 1/1/23 valuation. And the committee recommended that the assumptions stay the same as last year at 6.75 interest rate, a 4% salary scale, and asset smoothing. The resulting funding level is anticipated to be at a 78.7% for the plan. The valuation will be finalized for filing prior to 3/31/2026 deadline. No action was required for this, but we wanted to let you know about that. And then the other item, we reviewed the second quarter non-uniform pension plan performance, and Gerard Pension Plans Services provided an overview, and we had a great discussion about our investments and what's happening year to date. For year to date, the plan had a return of 6.2%. Gerard also reviewed the investment markets, their money managers, noting what they're watching and anything to be replaced. The next item we talked about is a finance project assistant proposal. And John and Caroline came up with a proposal, and it's a company called Transcend Finance. And this would be for assistance in the finance office here at the borough and in completing the conversion of the escrow module from QuickBooks into our new accounting software package. And Caroline does so much to begin with, and adding this to her plate would have been impossible. So we're very happy at a minimal cost to add this finance service to help her office.
It's probably a good time to remind everybody that the entire finance department consists of Caroline and a finance clerk. and that department not only handles all the borough's finances, but on a contractual basis, handles all the finances for the Central Bucks Regional Police as well. So certainly they are making do with what they have, but it's good to have some support.
Yes. Caroline does the work of like 4 people, all wrapped into one. And then we reviewed the 2025 mid-year budget, and the committee reviewed this mid-year revenues and expenditures for our general fund, water fund, the water capital, and the reserve funds. And the finance department activities for the year were also reviewed. Caroline wrote, "More fun times ahead," with the 2026 budget work sessions that we're all going to be starting in October. A reminder, the first joint finance committee work session is October 9th at 6 p.m. So hopefully everyone on council can make that. And then there was a performance recognition award that I was very proud to hear of. Doylestown Borough received a Loss Control Performance Award for our workers' compensation carrier. This distinguish is awarded to members scoring in the top 25% of loss experience during the past 3 years. What this means is that Doylestown Borough has a very few and low minor claims for workers' injuries or workman's comp, and that we provide a very safe environment for our employees. So congratulations to the borough and the staff for that.
Thank you.
And one last thing, Ms. Brinker, we have the finance report, if you'd like to report on that.
Sure, thank you, Ms. Popkin. Everybody has been provided with a list of our accounts payable listing and payroll. The total for all funds is $1,049,679.11.
And I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second by Mr. O'Hanlon. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
It was Mr. Brown, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you don't want my signature on
Mr.
it.
Brown, okay.
Mr. Brown.
I apologize.
You look so much alike.
I'll have to change my voice.
Any other questions or comments?
Need to call vote on.
Oh. How about public comment? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. President. That is the end of my report.
Okay, Personnel Committee, we did not meet. I have no report. Professionals report. Mr. Doherty, what do you have for us? Anything?
Thank you. I have nothing tonight.
Okay. Curtin and Hefner, what do you have for us?
No report this evening, thank you.
Okay, and Chief, do you have anything for us?
No report tonight.
Thank you. I do not have a president's report. Do we have any items of old business? Hearing none. Any items of new business? I haven't heard anything. Open public comment.
We had Annie Worth signed up to comment, but you approved.
She left.
You approved her son's land development, so she left. So
She left. Okay.
that was all we had signed up.
And we are going to have an executive session. Are we going to have an action after we come
We
back?
will have an action.
So we can't adjourn at this point, right? We'll come back.
Yeah, that's correct. We'll come back and vote.
Okay, thank
Andrew,
you.
you want to announce what we're?
The executive session pertains to legal advice with regard to an amendment of a land development waiver agreement and possible litigation for 280 North Broad.
Okay, we will return.
Chief, you're good. Carolyn, you're good. back in session at 7:59. We were in a executive session to discuss a resolution to allow for the,
You want Andrew to
oh, you want to do it?
read the
Okay.
motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If Borough Council is so inclined, I just ask for a motion to execute and adopt the amendment to agreement pertaining to the development of 280 North Broad Street between the Borough and Arcadia at Doylestown 3 LLC.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kinney. Any questions or comments from any members? Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
That was fast.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Not all.
That was a precision.